Nice to be here in our music studio with Deep Purple. And let me just break the news to you that Ian Gillan is not with us this evening. He's got a bit of a frog in his throat, I quote, and he's saving his voice for the first concert tomorrow in Pretoria. However, this is going to be sort of world-breaking stuff here tonight. Things you've never heard from Deep Purple before. Completely acoustic, I may add. Let me just introduce the band to you, who we do have here. On keyboards, the inimitable Jon Lord.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, John, and I'm going to sue you for my cutting my finger, by the way.
Pardon?
Also, we got over there on one of the acoustic guitars, we've got Steve Morse. Hi, Steve.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, doing well. Nice to see you again. And Roger Glover over there by the other piano.
Hello.
The other end of the piano. Anyway. How you doing?
Should also say that Ian Pace isn't here tonight, and the reason
Is
he is because he hasn't got a frog in his throat.
Oh, right. So he's not here.
And he's too loud.
Is he? Right,
Yes.
okay. Now, also with us, we've got Leon Economides.
How's it going?
Who, as you know, co-presents with Phil Wright on Dinosaur Days on a Sunday night. He's going to be asking him a few questions, but we're going to start with a tune that you all know and love.
Yes, Black Knight. 2, 3, 4.
Wonderful stuff. Lovely. Thank you very much. And with us, Leon.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Firstly, thanks so much for being in the country. There's so many guys that have waited many, many years for you guys to be here.
Well, nice to be here, finally.
John, Steve, Rog. I just wanted to ask you, is this Mark 5 or Mark 6 of Deep Purple?
It's Mark time.
We've lost count, I think.
Yeah.
We've never actually used those appellations, which is a range of mountains.
Yeah, that's right.
We've just called ourselves, good old Deep Purple and kept marching on.
Yeah. I read and I heard in a video that you guys mentioned there was a sort of a consensus taken amongst the four of you as to who the guitarist, who they preferred as the guitarist, and Steve's name came up. But a couple of people have asked me who were other names that could have been in his place.
No, there were no others.
Really, was it just Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful
Hank
choice.
Marvin was...
Well, you chose phenomenal guitarist.
Yeah, but Hank declined. Yeah. No, Steve was a kind of a thought that everyone had separately as before we had it together.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It was the first choice. We actually never considered anyone else.
Well, you couldn't have gone wrong with him. We saw him, my lady and I saw him in Fort Lauderdale, and the South Africans have got one hell of a concert to look forward to.
Oh, bless you.
Really.
I hope so. It's a bit louder than what you're hearing at the moment.
Yeah.
A bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand you're going to be doing 1 or 2 new tracks for us, off your new album.
Well, I'm doing all the joint here, guys. Leap in, Rog.
We might just play a lick or something from a
Yeah,
tune.
we just spent 2 months in the studio writing new songs, and they're new to us. And we don't really know what the songs are going to be. They don't even have titles and words yet. But we just thought we'd just doodle around and practice.
Give us an idea.
And by the
practice
way,
in public.
And we didn't write him for this orchestration.
But this one happens to sound reasonably good with 2 guitars and a piano, so.
What one is this?
This is the Highland.
The Highland.
Oh, okay. This at least gets a feel of it across.
Yeah. Busked there.
Mr. Morse is just too good.
Yeah, it's good fun. That's you've got to imagine that one with like Ian Pace thundering away in the background and Ian
Gillan thundering away in the background.
Yes. Along with his
Nice
froth.
mix, guys.
You're still using your Hammond in the big way, aren't you?
Yeah, it's as dear to me as next past my family.
Yeah.
I love that instrument.
Still retain the 70s sound using that.
Yeah, I don't think you can even put that in a decade. I mean, a lot of people are coming back to the Hammond now, and you know, they're saying, "How do you get that sound?"
Yeah.
It's not just for gospel anymore.
That's right. Even blues, especially, is using a lot of Hammond.
That's right.
Where are you guys actually based? Are you American or British or what?
The world.
That's good.
We've actually, I mean, the diaspora of Deep Purple happened a long time ago. We are kind of spread out.
Okay.
But it's a military exercise to get together and rehearse.
Well, hopefully South Africa's been one of your bases as well, huh?
Yeah?
Okay.
Why not?
A track that's been very, very popular in South Africa for you guys to play, and for us to play on radio for you, has been When a Blind Man Cries. And I saw you do a wonderful blues version. I hope you're going to do that sort of acoustically now for us.
Have a go.
Oh, good. Yes.
In South Africa, we have a saying, it's called hoendervleis, which is goose flesh. Watching Mr. Morse doing that, you get it.
Great, good, I'm glad.
Great stuff, Ed.
It's a lovely song. We didn't do it for many, many years, and we've resurrected it again. Really happy to have it.
Okay, that's... there's so many different people that have asked for that particular track, whether it was on your live album or on the studio version. It was never released on an LP, am I right? It was just a B-side.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's written at the same time as the machine.
Yeah. We've got time for one more track.
One more. Should we do this sort of famous one?
That one.
That one.
May as well.
We'll do a bit of it.
Remember the ending.
Yeah, there's a bit of the woman from Tokyo that we never used to do on stage. It's the whole middle bit which goes quieter when he sings like "So Far Away from the Gardens We Love Them." No. But we're going to do a bit before that and then into that and then, well, you know, let the
Bit of a chorus there.
Yeah, a bit of a chorus. Go on, my son.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Leon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Just one last question. When can we expect the new Deep Purple album?
You can expect the new Deep Purple album in January, and just very quickly, if I can very quickly get in, that tomorrow night we're in Pretoria, next night Durban, then we've got 4 nights in Cape Town, we're back in Johannesburg on April the 1st for a couple of days.
And the second as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great
John
stuff.
and Steve and Rog, thank you so much. That was
you.
Deep Purple, Unplugged,
Great
on
fun.
5FM. Tone, back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Very enjoyable. And don't forget, you can catch the...